In 1989, a young composer named Michael lived alone in a small apartment above an old record store. He spent nights writing songs that no one ever heard. One evening, while going through dusty boxes in the attic, he found a reel-to-reel tape labeled, "Do Not Play." Of course, he played it. The melody that came from the speakers was haunting, slow, echoing, unlike anything he'd ever written. When it ended, he rewound the tape and listened again. But the second time, it sounded different. Subtle, almost imperceptible, but different. There were faint piano notes. Ones he recognized. It was his own style. Something he'd been working on weeks ago. Confused, he checked the label again. No date, no name, just the words. Over the next few nights, the melody began following him. A radio playing static suddenly shifted into the same tune. A passing car's horn seemed to hit the same rhythm. Even his dreams replayed fragments of it, like echoes in his mind. Finally, Michael couldn't take it. He recorded the melody himself, layer by layer, until it felt complete. Finished. When he played it back, he noticed something strange. The combined sound matched the mysterious tape perfectly. He stared at the recorder, realizing, somehow, the melody had been his own all along. But the tape? He tried to replay it again. Nothing. The tape was blank. The sound that haunted him had vanished, leaving only silence and a faint smell of dust and ozone. Michael never spoke about it again, but those who knew him said the next song he wrote became his masterpiece, a piece called The Forgotten Melody, and when people listened to it, some swore they could still hear, beneath the notes, a whisper asking to be remembered. In 1998, a woman named Claire lost her best friend, Anna, in a car accident. They'd been inseparable since childhood. More like sisters than friends. A year after the funeral, Claire still couldn't move on. She started writing letters addressed to Anna, small notes about her day, her dreams, her regrets. Each letter she sealed in an envelope and left on the windowsill, where sunlight hit it every morning. She never mailed them. They were just a quiet way to cope. Then, on the anniversary of Anna's passing, Claire wrote one last letter. She ended it with, "I wish I could know if you're okay." That night, a thunderstorm rolled through. Wind rattled the windows. One envelope fell to the floor. In the morning, she picked it up, only to see it wasn't blank anymore. There, in faint blue ink, was a single line she hadn't written. "I'm fine. You can stop writing now." Claire froze. The paper was damp, but the handwriting was clear, familiar. It was Anna's. She compared it to old postcards, birthday notes, identical loops and curls. No one else had keys to her apartment. The envelopes had never been moved. Claire placed the letter in a drawer and never spoke of it again. Years later, when her family went through her belongings, they found all the old envelopes still sealed. Except one. The final letter, the one with Anna's reply, was missing. Some say Claire destroyed it. Others say she kept it close, believing it was a sign that her friend had found peace. Whatever the truth was, the story of the letter spread quietly, passed from friend to friend, and every now and then, someone claims to find an old envelope, blank except for one line written inside, "I'm fine, you can stop writing now." In a small art gallery in Florence, there hung a painting called The Silence of Evening. It was simple. A country house under twilight, curtains drawn, a single window faintly glowing. For decades, it was ignored. No one knew who painted it. It was unsigned, dusty, forgotten. Until one evening, the night guard noticed something odd. The glowing window in the painting wasn't glowing before. He thought it was just his imagination. The next day, he checked again. The curtain in the painted window was slightly open. Museum staff dismissed it as lighting, or perhaps aging varnish. But as weeks went by, more details began to change. A shadow appeared near the door. Then, a chair moved. Each night, the painting was a little different. They set up cameras, but every morning the footage showed nothing unusual. Just the painting. Still, lifeless, until one frame. A single frame in the middle of the night showed a faint silhouette behind the window. Experts came, studied the paint. No alterations, no forgery. The canvas was untouched. Eventually, the gallery closed off the exhibit. Too many visitors claimed to feel watched. Years later, the painting disappeared from storage without a record. Only an empty frame remained, labeled The Silence of Evening. And according to the night guard, now long retired, he sometimes still dreams of that country house at twilight. Curtains drawn, window faintly glowing. In 2012, a tech journalist named Aaron received an email that stopped him cold. Subject line, "I'm sorry for missing your call." The strange thing? The sender was his old college friend, who had died 3 years earlier. He checked the address. Exact match, even the profile photo was there. The message read, "Just wanted to say I finally got your message. Everything's fine now. Don't worry." Aaron assumed it was a cruel prank, but when he replied, the email bounced. Address no longer existed. He tried tracing it. No server logs, no backups, nothing. Curious, he searched his inbox for old threads with that same friend. And there, buried deep in archived mail, was an unread draft he didn't remember writing. Dated the night before the accident. It said, "Call me when you get home. I need to tell you something important." He had never sent it. Aaron stared at the glowing screen. The timestamp of the new message was the same minute as that old draft, 3 years apart. Somehow, both messages existed. One never sent, one never received. For weeks, he tried to explain it logically. A glitch, an archived sync, an ISP hiccup. But the data didn't add up. The server logs confirmed. The email had been created outside of normal time. Eventually, Aaron stopped investigating. He printed the message, framed it, and hung it above his desk. It read simply, "Just wanted to say I finally got your message. Everything's fine now?" No one ever figured out how it happened. But sometimes, when Aaron's computer idled late at night, the inbox sound would chime, and a blank notification would appear for just a second. From unknown. In 2005, Emma was sorting through boxes of old family photos to create a digital archive. Most were faded snapshots. Birthdays, holidays, vacations. But one photo caught her eye. It showed her as a child, standing in the front yard, holding a bright red balloon. The problem was, Emma never remembered owning that balloon. Curious, she scanned the image and zoomed in. Behind her stood a woman, out of focus, half in shadow. The woman's face was turned slightly, smiling. But Emma couldn't recognize her. She called her mother, who was equally puzzled. "That's strange," she said. "I don't remember anyone else being there that day." Later that night, Emma checked the negatives. There was no trace of the woman. She wasn't in any other shot. The next morning, the printed photo was missing from her desk. Instead, lying in its place, was a newer picture, one she had never taken. It showed her same living room, same couch, same angle, but in the reflection of the window, there was the same woman again, closer this time. Emma panicked and burned the photo, but when she opened her laptop to delete the scans, the image had already changed. The woman's face was now perfectly clear, and she was smiling directly at the camera. Emma shut the computer, unplugged it, and left the house. The next day, her hard drive failed completely. Every file was gone. Except one. A single folder remained on the desktop titled, "Keep Me." In 1993, a switchboard operator named Grace worked the night shift in a small-town phone exchange. Most nights were quiet, just static and the hum of old wires. But one night, at exactly midnight, a faint call came through. A voice whispered, "Is this number still in service?" Grace checked the line. It came from a disconnected phone number, deactivated 10 years earlier. Thinking it was a prank, she traced the signal. It originated from an abandoned hotel outside town. The next night, the same voice returned. "You never answered me." Grace recorded the audio. The voice was slow, deliberate, almost gentle. Then she heard a faint echo in the background, the ticking of a grandfather clock. She reported it to her supervisor. They checked the hotel. No electricity, no phone cables, nothing but dust and silence. On the third night, the call came again. "This is the last time I can reach you." Then static. The next morning, Grace was gone. Her headset was still plugged in, the call light blinking red. The recording played one final line. "Thank you for keeping the line open." In a forgotten alley of Prague stood a tiny shop filled with clocks, hundreds of them, all ticking at once. The owner, Mr. Novak, was known for building timepieces so precise. They seemed alive. One evening, a traveler entered, fascinated by a small pocket watch displayed behind glass. "It never runs late," said Novak, "but it only works for the one who keeps a promise." The traveler laughed and bought it anyway. For months, the watch worked perfectly. Then, one night, it stopped, exactly at 11. No matter how he wound it, the hands refused to move. Frustrated, he returned to the alley. But the shop was gone, replaced by a bakery that claimed to have been there for decades. Inside, a faint ticking echoed beneath the floorboards. He followed the sound to a loose tile and found the same pocket watch, perfectly clean, still ticking. Its hands moved again, showing the correct time. But when he checked the back engraving, the words had changed. It now read, "Promise kept." In 1962, a passenger train known as the Silver Line vanished between two small stations in northern England. Witnesses at both ends swore they saw it depart, but it never arrived. For decades, it became local legend. People claimed to see faint lights on foggy nights, the sound of distant wheels echoing through the valleys. Then, in 2021, railway maintenance crews repairing an old tunnel made a discovery. Buried beneath collapsed stone was a sealed side passage, perfectly preserved. Inside were fragments of rail, scraps of metal, and a conductor's pocket watch frozen at 2:47 a.m. Investigators found no sign of wreckage, no remains, no explanation. But when they reopened the tunnel, strange interference began to appear on nearby radios. Late at night, operators heard faint transmissions. "Silver Line, approaching 2 minutes. Each time, the signal ended at exactly 2:47 a.m. One night, a team decided to record it. As the static cleared, they heard the sound of a whistle, followed by distant applause, like passengers disembarking. Then silence. When they checked the recording in the morning, the audio was gone. Only a blank file remained, renamed automatically by the system. Arrival confirmed.